Okay, hello everybody. Thank you. Um, Thank you for attending my presentation. Today I will be presenting our short paper, How Students' Emotion and Motivation Changes After Reviewing Dashboards with Varied Social Comparison Group, a qualitative study. So learning analytics dashboard, as known as LADs, give feedback to learners on their performance, how they can regulate their study methods, strategies, or what is their standing in the class. So students can make sense of their performance using LADs. So we can say that LADs represent a feedback, and this feedback can affect students' feeling and emotions and motivation. So use of learning theories in designing LADs is growing, and for example, task value scaffolding, social comparison theory, attribution theory, achievement goal theory. These are all the theories that have been used in designing dashboards. So we have used two main theories in this study. The first one is social comparison theory. We use this theory to manipulate the content of our LADs and understand how the students compare themselves with their peers. And we also use Weiner's attribution theory. We wanted to know how students attribute their performance and how do they explain their poor academic performance. So understanding how different dashboard elements affect student feelings and subsequent motivation with respect to their accomplishment was the key, and we hypothesized that should encourage students to explain their poor academic performance to causes that are unstable. It means it can change over time, or it's students' control. So individuals tend to explain or understand why events happen to them. So usually we try to find a reason for our failure or success. So there could be different factors for them. Weiner identified 4 factors that we attribute our performance to. Effort, ability, task difficulty, or luck. And so these 4 factors are categorized into 3 dimensions. The first one is locus of control. It means the factor is either internal or external. The second one is stability. It means the factor is either stable or unstable. It means changes over time or not. And the third one is controllability. It means the person has control over that factor. So, for example, if I give a good presentation today, I might attribute this success to, for example, luck, which is external and is not stable and is not under my control. So I try to explain a reason for my success or failure. So ability is an internal factor and is stable. So for example, we cannot change whether we are smart or not, and it's uncontrollable. We don't have it under our control. So failure due to lack of ability might lead to hopelessness and shame, and consequently drop in motivation. And vice versa, effort is something internal and unstable. The amount of effort we put into something can change over time, and it's under our control. So failure due to lack of effort can lead to guilt and responsibility, which can lead to positive motivational outcome. So we used three main elements in our prototypes: assignment grade, time spent on the assignment, which effort, and proficiency, which represented ability for us. It was Fristinger's social comparison theory. So Fessinger states that if the only comparison available is a very divergent one, the person will not be able to make a subjectively precise evaluation of his opinion or ability. Given a range of possible persons for comparison, someone's close to one's ability or opinion will be chosen for comparison. So this theory states that we tend to compare ourselves with someone similar to us regarding the ability or basically when in a group we tend to compare ourselves with someone similar. So basically we wanted to understand how students arrive at a judgment elements in our dashboards and how does this affect their emotion, feelings, and subsequent motivation. So we unpack this into three main research questions. The first one is, what are the students' interpretations of each dimension, such as grade, time spent, and proficiency, and how do students arrive at the judgment of the extent of their ability and effort. And lastly, how do students feel when they compare themselves with their peers? So we used a qualitative approach in our study. We used interviews and think loud exercise on our prototypes for data collection with 19 participants. For designing our dashboard mockups, we used wireframing, and we used the printed version of our prototypes in the study. And for analyzing the data, we used thematic analysis, and to enhance the reliability, we used two researchers for this. So in the study, we first showed this dashboard to get students familiar with the content that we wanted to show them. So you can see on the top left, the student can see their personal performance. In the second one, they can see their ranking in the class. In the third one on the left, they can see a timeline on how students checked the assignment on Canvas, worked on the assignment on Canvas. And the fourth one, they could see a selective number of students with their overall proficiency. So we asked them that what are they, what do they represent, how do you expect to interact with them, and which of the modules do you think are the most useful. Dashboard the first module that we showed to students was the personal performance module. So you can see that there are 3 assignments, and students can see their individual grade on those assignments. So we asked them that how do you think you're doing, and how does this affect your motivation going forward the course. Then we added the class ranking module, in which the student could see their standing in the class for assignment 3. So in assignment 3, they got 81%, which they saw first in the personal performance module. And when we added the class performance module, they could see their ranking in the class. So we introduced the social comparison concept by bringing this module. And we asked them whether now about their performance, whether now they have changed, whether their judgment changes or not. Then we replaced the class ranking with the with assignment performance module. Again, module brings the social comparison concept, but it has a selective number of students, and it has more details on grades, time spent on the assignment, and their proficiency. So we asked them, who do you compare yourself with the most and why, and what would be a good measure for proficiency. So we used 3 different variations of assignment performance module for our participants. And the left one, other students perform highly better than the students, and some of them perform highly better but with lower time spent. In the second one, there are different variations of students performing lower or better than the student, and in the other 6 students performed pretty low student. And we asked that how do they compare their ability to other students and how does this affect their motivation. So results show that regarding the usefulness of our dashboard, students found the personal performance dashboard and class performance dashboards the most useful. So students who preferred that to see their only individual performance, they preferred personal performance dashboard, and the ones that like to compare themselves with others picked class performance dashboard. 2 students specifically mentioned that they did not like comparing. And regarding the interpretation of task difficulty, there were different interpretations of task difficulty. 10 participants mentioned grade, and average represents for them that how a task was difficult. And regarding the judgment of effort, time as a primary measure for effort, and also spending less time and getting higher grade was a significant mention among participants. So when they saw the assignment performance module and saw our students performing way better than them but spending less time than the student, they mentioned that, and they felt that they needed to spend more time and put more effort. Spend 9 mentioned that I think I need to put more time. And regarding the judgment of ability, grade was a primary measure for ability for students. So when they saw a non-social basis for their performance, meaning when they saw the personal performance module, they had positive reactions, seeing that they got 81%, for example, in assignment 3. But when we added class performance and they saw their ranking, it led to disappointment. So most students felt demotivated when they saw their ranking in the class, and it was interesting that their judgment was based on the ranking and not the grade anymore. And 11 students chose a person based on similarity in one dimension, either proficiency, time, or grade. And most students felt demotivated after seeing assignment performance module in which students performed highly better than them. So in conclusion, we can say that social comparison theory is relevant because students tend to compare themselves with someone similar, and spending more time on an assignment represented effort and how the task was difficult, and spending less time and getting higher grade represented aptitude for students. So when they saw that other students spent less time and got higher grade, they tend to smartness or ability or aptitude with other students. And the dashboard should promote effort, both in personal and social comparison capacities. Students tend to compare themselves with others who perform similar or better, and this might lead to negative perception of ability, but select of lower performing students and comparison based on time spent and proficiency can lead to guilt and embarrassment, which they can explain that it was because of low effort when they see why they had a poor academic, and this can lead to positive motivational outcome. So thank you very much.